Hello everybody, I'm Dord. Haven't been here for a while. Feels a little cathartic for me to say that. I know that's gonna be like in the video. If you've wondered where I've been, I'll talk about that at the end of the video. But in case you're worried about that ever happening again, or like you just want, or just very starved for Dord content for some reason, check my link tree. Instagram is in there, and other websites I use, but I use my Instagram most frequently. So the album I'm going to be reviewing today is from a band I've gotten heavily into during the hiatus I've been on, and that band is the abacus, and I'm reviewing their sophomore album. Just got back from the discomfort. We're all right. We're all right. This album is 12 songs and it's 45 minutes. That's a pretty solid length for an album. The longest song is like 6.5 minutes, and the shortest is like an interlude track, which is like 1.5 minutes. That song being Austin, Massachusetts, whatever that one's called. I don't care much about that song, honestly. It's like an acoustic, very lo-fi interlude that really doesn't contribute to the album all that much, but it's there. The album starts with Pile No Pile Pile, which starts with my first negative of the album. This album is like front-loaded. It starts with Pile No Pile Pile, my favorite song of the album by a pretty wide margin. Probably my favorite abacus song, competing with their second other opening track, I See It Too, from their debut. And people also say, like the outro, I've heard somebody say like the outro to Please Don't Cry They Stopped Hours Ago is like the peak of the album, and it doesn't go nearly as high as that at any point in the album. So keep that in mind. It does. Let me preface by saying the rest of the album is amazing as well. I'll get to that. But the album does start very strong, so it makes some of the other songs seem not nearly as powerful. I love the structure each and every single song has. Pile No Pile Pile, like you can go to like any 30-second chunk in the song, and it's completely different from like the previous song, from like the previous part and like the part afterwards, and yet they also have like their own impact in the song, and it's really great. I also, on the topic of structure, I like the 3 songs in the middle. Untitled, Continued, Abade, Morning Love Song, and It's Not What You Think It Is. Yeah. I like how they all pretty much flow together. It's kind of strange that they're not all one track, given that they've done that like 3 times before. It's strange that they're different songs, but I kind of do like how it is, yeah. Speaking of Masked Dancers, I have a little bit of a gripe with Masked Dancers, which I'll probably get around to in my Masked Dancers review, but that album's like album flow kinda, I mean, it's not, let me correct it, it's good, as in, it's fine. You don't really care about it when you listen to it. The only reason why I care about it is because I wrote down notes for it to review. Like, the album really doesn't slow down at all. The closest it comes to slowing down are like 2 of the interludes, But I Want to Be on the Receiving End, and actually, I probably won't get into it because this isn't a review of Masked Dancers yet. How this album is better is it has moments that are slower, has moments that give you like some reprieve, like Austin. Even though I'm not a huge fan of Austin, I might be saying it wrong. I might be getting the name wrong. Even if I'm not a fan of that like later album interlude, I like it. It's there. It gives you a little bit of calmness after the 3. After like the suite in the middle of the album. There's also like the 2 ambient outros that I like quite a bit. Well, actually 3, but one of them is it's its own separate track. Boys Theme, which I like quite a lot, and it's really I enjoy it as like reprieve after probably the heaviest part of the album. Sonically speaking, I don't know much about the lyrics. I know it's like about a breakup, and like that's all I know. I haven't tried, I have tried delving into the lyrics, and my god, are they like obtuse. At least you can feel the emotion from everything else, like through context clues. You don't have to know the lyrics, but god damn. The Blah Blah Blahs has my favorite ambient portion of the album. Straight up sounds like something off of like the Disintegration Loops. God, it's really good. There's also the more drone-y ambient at the end of Can't Run Away that I like quite a bit. It's probably my least favorite of the three, though. I also like the eclecticism pretty much every single song this album has. You get that almost immediately with the opening track, Pile on the Pile Pile, which starts with like this pummeling guitar, bass, drums, and whiny emo singer. On top of that, also inexplicably like a piano part. Then right after that, you get 8-bit drums, the piano, a sawtooth synth. You also get like, I mean, I guess piano isn't that unstandard, but the way they employ it is really cool. They also use trumpets really well when they use it, which is not often, but when they use it, God, I love the way that they just like think to use instruments on an incredibly diverse emo album. Also, this is like a bit of a personal thing. I just love how good they are at playing instruments, seemingly. There's like a little quirk I've found with them where they can be both extremely talented at playing their instruments. Just listen to the entirety of Masked Dancers. That's like a math rock album. That's insane. And it's crazy that they can play those really hard songs so well, but they can also play the slower parts really sloppy. It gives it like a real charm. And also I remember trying to play Pile on the Pile Pile because it's a song I like to play, and I have, you know, my guitar over there that I like to play songs on. It's kind of hard, especially like the tremolo picking part in like the 7/8 portion. Yeah, that part's pretty fucking hard. Also, the song Bug-Infested Floorboards, great, amazing song. I like the way it kind of like disintegrates in the end, and then just cuts straight into easily the most different song on the album, that song being Orange Blue with Stripes. That song is like really effective at wrapping up the themes that I know about are in the album. I don't know lyrics that well or what they specifically mean. I know it's like a concept album, I think. And I feel like it's really effective at wrapping up the themes of relationships of the album. And that's pretty cool. And I guess while we're there, I can also mention 2 parts that might completely break Orange Blue with Stripes for you. The vocals can get on your nerves. I have a little bit of an anecdote where the first time I listened to Brave Little Abacus, it was with I See It Too, because I chose to listen to Masked Dancers for my first one. I found the guitar really dreary. There was like something about it, and like the synth being added on top as well. Then there was the vocals, which felt so, what's the word? It felt so, like, I don't know. All I have to say is I hated the vocals when I first heard it on I See It Too, especially when it got to the screaming part. So I just stopped listening to the album. And just out of curiosity, I skipped to the next song on the album. Because the next track is an interlude and also an intro track to A Map of the Stars, which is the track I skipped to. And I was like, oh great, it picks up. Nice, that's awesome. I can't believe I didn't stick around to see that. Then later, after some time, I came back, I listened to Pile on the Pile Pile, and I thought, okay, that song's like crazy. Goes around a lot for me to like love it a lot, despite the vocals. Some of the overdramatic lyrics I did manage to pick up on, and the sample at the end that's also overtly dramatic. Which, let's get to that. Those are Malcolm in the Middle samples, and knowing that may just break the album for you. It didn't for me. I feel like the way that they use samples is used to create a character in the album, I guess. I don't know, it just portrays a person as being not just like a true, what's the word? They have it, I don't know how to word it, I'm sorry. I'm a reviewer and I don't know how to review shit. There's something about the Malcolm Middle samples that paints a portrait of a character being played in the album. There's a way the anime samples on Masked Dancers also paint a character in that album. Even though I don't watch anime, I could care less about anime, there's just something about those samples being used that really make some certain songs on that album. And I feel like those albums wouldn't be nearly as loved in the underground scene if it weren't for those samples being there. If it was more of a homogenous kind of just dime a dozen emo album that happens to also be math rock or eclectic experimental rock. So yeah, I feel like this sophomore album from the Brave Abacus, who broke up shortly after this album's release. I don't know how shortly. I think it came out in 2010. I think they broke up in 2012. Either way, they didn't release another album afterwards. And it's a damn fine note to end on. I feel like a lot of the really eclectic instrumentals throughout the entire runtime of the album really doesn't feel out of place. I feel like the very eclectic array of instruments being used on this album really doesn't make the album feel not coherent. It still lands, it still sticks, every single song still has extreme impact, and as a matter of fact, it might be the thing that makes the songs even more impactful than what they would have just been if, like, let's say, like, Pile on the Pile Pile didn't have Sawtooth synths and it just had, like, not that. Imagine that. That would just be, like, a worse song. That would just be worse. They have one of the whiniest singers ever whose emotion really pours through in, like, every single word, every single abstractly written word all over this album, and it can really get on your nerves if you want it to, I guess. But it can also, like, just be, generally speaking, really impactful to like a Midwest teen. Some of my favorite songs of this album are Pile on the Pile Pile, Please Don't Cry, They Stopped Hours Ago, The Blah Blah Blahs, yeah, and Orange Road with Stripes. And my least favorites, like, Abade. I don't know, it's... No, I'm thinking of Untitled Continued. Okay, yeah, my least favorite is, Untitled Continued. And, Can't Run Away. I do like Can't Run Away as its function in the album as a actual song that's a bit of a breather for the rest of the album. I enjoy it. I'd just rather listen... I just, like, given any particular moment, I'd just rather listen to some of the more intense moments of the album. I initially wrote down the score for this album being a 10 out of 10. But I think I might lower it a little bit, maybe. So, all the people that came for the review, you can, like, leave now. That's bye. But if you want to stick around and wonder, like, where I've been, this might just be totally rambly and not worth watching, but yeah, pretty much I haven't been up, like, my last review was my review of Hypochondriac, I believe, back in Christmas. And, sorry. I did show my face on my YouTube channel since then. All things considered, I've just been kind of caught up with other things. I've just, like, been doing dubious shit with friends. I've been, making music. More, like, I've been making music in my DAW. I switched to Ableton because FL Studio was just fucking me over. I also went to Juvie. I'm not going to give you any details, but I went to Juvie. I'm not going to give you any details yet. I'll 100% like write about it in songs when I come around to, like, recording songs. I've just kind of not really been doing reviews as of late also because I just kind of, for a while, haven't been listening to albums like that anymore. Like, I've just been, like, I've just kind of been, like, listening to music every now and then casually, and then, like, adding it to my like songs on Spotify and then moving on. I don't really think about, like, oh, I'm gonna listen to this so I can, like, rate it on my YouTube channel. I don't really do that anymore. Until very recently, where I have been. Where I wrote down the 2 reviews for Brave Abacus is Just Away from Discomfort, We're Alright, and Matt Stancer's Concern in So Many Things You Forget Where You Are. Long ass title. And some other albums I plan on reviewing as well. Quite a few of these reviews were just, like, written down, and I was like, I don't want to just, like, delete the Discord channel that I have all these floating around in. I guess I'll just, you know. I don't know how often I'm going to be doing these reviews, because I've been, like, planning on doing this review for, like, a few days, and there's just always been, like, something preventing me from doing it, whether it's just me being distracted from other things or just me kind of not wanting to. I don't know how to describe it. I just sort of don't want to do it some days. And some days I do. Like today, where I've successfully... I don't know why I turned my head to cough and I didn't cough. Like today, where I have successfully done a review of a Brave Little Abacus album. So that's pretty cool. And also, sorry for just kind of not uploading some albums every now and then. Yeah, it's a bit of an issue. Oh yeah, and school. School has been like kind of like it's the last few weeks of school, and I've just been trying to like catch up and not fail, because I'm pretty good in every single class except for my English class. Yeah, I've just like kind of been living my life. I'm fine. I like there's not really anything wrong with me. Well, besides the obvious, you know, depressed, genderqueer, all that shit. Besides that, which has like been there since my first announcement video, I'm fine. I feel like if I wasn't, I'd probably tell you folks. And again, if you want to, I guess, just like see more dord content, like wonder what I'm up to, check my Instagram. Again, I have other accounts on my link tree, like Rate Your Music, like Last.fm, which I don't use anymore because my Spotify Premium ran out. I'm most active on Instagram anyways, so whatever. Check me out on Instagram if you want to, if you just, yeah. Cool. So, I believe that's it for this video now. I'm just now realizing I still have an issue with ending videos. Whatever. Goodbye. I hope you all have a good day. I hope you all continue to have a good day if you are currently having a good day, and I hope your day becomes good if you aren't having a good day right now. Fire. I'm gonna go edit this video now.